waiting to happen. Stephen A, hush your mouth, talking all that noise. You can hate all you want, but we still them boys. Dirty, dirty D, Texas where we stay at. We decide in order till you know that's where we play at. Hey, this year, this the payback. Yeah, we them Cowboys, and now we don't play that. Work. This is Cowboy Nation. Work. Welcome to Cowboy Nation. Work. Y'all can keep on hate. Work.
Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation. We're back. It's another week, and we are getting ready for the Green Bay Packers. I promise you that if we had done what we needed to do last week, this would be a very exciting week because Green Bay lost to the Cleveland Browns, and we would be thinking about how easy it would be to defeat Green Bay if they can't beat Cleveland. Unfortunately, we got destroyed and embarrassed by the Chicago Bears, and we really don't have a whole lot to be excited about. However, this episode is going to be about what our defense needs to do to stop the Green Bay Packers. Are we able to do what the Cleveland Browns defense did? Let's get into it. Hey, before we do that, I do want to ask a favor. We are looking to get our subscribers up. Almost forgot the word. Sorry. We're looking to get our subscribers up. I need you to hit the subscribe button. Please, 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 please hit the button. Hit the subscribe button for me, please. We just need to tell YouTube that the stuff that we're doing is actually worth something, that you guys are really paying attention to us so that they can pay me. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. That's the reason why I want it done, is because I can't get paid until I get to a certain amount. I'm not supposed to say that. Everybody was like, you can't say that. You got to tell them that there's another reason. That's the reason. We're trying to have some honesty here, right? So that's what the reason is because I have to be able to prove to YouTube that people like this podcast. So hit the subscribe button. Let us know. This segment is also brought to you by the Car Wreck Attorneys at 1-833-OH-I'm-HIT. That's 1-833-OH-I'm-HIT. If you're ever hurt in a car or truck accident in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex or anywhere in Texas, you can call 1-833-OH-I'm-HIT. That's 1-833-OH-I-M-HIT. 1-833-644-6448. Tell them D. Will sent you, all right? So let's get into it. Our defense, our coach, Brian Schottenheimer, he said, and we talked about this yesterday on the Fan Talk. Brian Schottenheimer said he was going to make changes to the defense. We're expecting those changes to the defense this week. I don't know exactly what they're going to be. He said some scheme. He said some players. Me personally, I'm kind of hoping for a few different things. I'm hoping for more of James Houston. I'm hoping for more of Maris Leofau. I'm hoping for more of Wanye. Wanye Thomas is I think he came in at the end of the game last week, had some really good pass coverages. Let me just be honest with you. I went back and I watched the film just yesterday. I was depressed. Okay, I didn't go look back on Monday. I normally get back on Monday. I'd be so excited. I look at the all 22 on Monday and I can really break it down. I didn't do that until yesterday after the Fan Talk. Realistically, Trayvon Diggs didn't do as bad as I thought. It was the one bad play that he slipped on. You can call me a homer if you want to. He didn't quite do as bad. And most of the problems that we're having with the defense are fixable issues. These are things that can actually be fixed because these are bad eyes. These are people looking in the wrong directions. I think Eberflus's scheme requires certain things that maybe some of these guys aren't used to having to look at, and it's still confusing them. I believe if you just go back to a standard cover 2, a standard cover 3, using standard principles, you can really open up. And of course, you know, the real problem is if you're going to play zone, let's just be honest. If you're going to play zone and you have a quarterback who's not going to get sacked, I'm going to say this every week, an NFL quarterback who does not have any pressures, who you never get to, is going to pick you apart. It doesn't matter how good your defensive backs are. There's no need of talking about, is Trayvon Diggs any good? Is Deron Bland going to be all right when he comes back? None of that matters if he can just sit back there. If there's no defensive line, You don't need any blocking. You're just going to stand back there and play 7-on-7. Any NFL quarterback is going to pick you apart. So that means that the very first key to our defense being able to stop this Green Bay offense is with our pass rush. Now, we do have a little bit of an advantage, and that is Green Bay's interior offensive linemen are hurt. And I don't remember which one it is, but I believe it's their starting right guard is actually hurt. And you saw last week that the middle of Cleveland's defense is what was getting the pressure. For us, that is wonderful news because that means that Kenny Clark and Oso Odighizuwa should be able to get pressure right up the middle. We're also hoping that Jadeveon Clowney, who plays this week for the first time, can get pressure that our other defensive ends can't get. So where is Jadeveon Clowney's reps coming from? I hope they're coming from Sam Houston. I hope they're not taking away. I said Sam Houston again, didn't I? I hope they're coming from Sam Williams. I hope they're not taking away James Houston's reps. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that we can get a little more of play out of James Houston because he's able to get to the quarterback and cause some disruptions. Right now, Sam Williams is not doing that. Dante Fowler is not doing that. Marshawn Nealon is not doing that. Donovan Ezeraku is not doing that. And we are hoping, really, really hoping that we can get that out of our hopefully new star, but our new player, Jadeveon Clowney. So that's going to be the number one thing. Number two thing is obviously understanding the defense, and hopefully in a scheme situation that says it's going to be a change of schemes. And what I'm hoping for, that doesn't mean that we're going to be playing man on man. Again, I know Trayvon got beat. I'm not saying we can't play man. I know a lot of people are going to be, oh, Trayvon is horrible. Elam is horrible. Look, at the end of the day, again, if you let the man stand back there, he's going to beat anybody in the NFL. Doesn't matter who it is, they're going to get beat. There's not a lot of, in my opinion, superstars yet as far as wide receivers for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they do have Matthew Golden. They have some players. I'm not saying that they don't have anybody out there, but it's not like true superstars in the game. We should be able to cover the Green Bay Packers wide receivers. Josh Jacobs hasn't been just killing people on the ground. We should be able to stop the run. We just need to be able to get our eyes in the right direction and play. Look, cover 2, cover 3 defenses are basic. People have been running them since they were in junior high. There's absolutely no reason that cannot be fixed and fixed quickly. I know it hasn't been fixed yet, but it can be fixed. I expect, even if I don't believe in Matt Eberflus, I do have to believe that Brian Schottenheimer is going to do the things that he said that he was going to do. And he said he was going to make changes, or Eberflus is going to make changes. And we're hoping that those changes are made quickly and made this year. So those are the number two, the two most important things, in my opinion. Obviously, we got to continue to do the basics, right? We have to be able to stop the run. Josh Jacobs hasn't been very good with the run. We have to continue to stop the run as we already have. And what I'm hoping for is that the new pieces don't affect that piece. That's kind of the balance that you have to look at. When you change out Maris Leofau for, let's just say, Sanborn, right? Now you're looking at, okay, sometimes Maris Leofau overruns the hole. He's not reading it. He's not showing up in the hole in the right place. Does that mean that now Josh Jacobs is going for 5 yards to carry because Leofau is out of order? But when we back up the pass, Leofau is more athletic. He can run with this running back because Josh Jacobs had, I believe he was their number 2 wide receiver last year. I think it was Matthew Golden and then Josh Jacobs. So if you don't have a linebacker that can keep up with Josh Jacobs, you're in trouble there. It's kind of a pick your poison type of situation. Same thing with being able to run if you're in the zone and your linebacker in the middle can't keep up with your running backs. I mean, Jordan Love is an athletic quarterback. I'm not saying that he's a running quarterback, but he is an athletic quarterback, and he can get up the field if you're not going to stay within your lanes. And every time I watch, I just want to be able to say this because a lot of people deny that this can actually be an issue. I'm watching players that I know have the ability to get to the quarterback. The fact that they're not, in my opinion, means that they're being taught to run right up the middle. They don't want to go too far up and around trying to get around somebody because that leaves holes. And I feel like that is what Eberflus has been doing. He's been telling them, you got to get there, but you got to get there in your lane. And if you're not going to get there in your lane, then don't leave any big holes. And what you end up seeing is Sam Williams will literally engage to a tackle, but he's not trying to go around them because he doesn't want to leave the lanes on the inside of him between him and the other defensive tackle. And a lot of people are saying, no, there's no way that can be happening. It can be happening. I've seen it happen. I know for certain that Dante Fowler knows how to get there. I've seen Sam Williams under other defensive coordinators bend and get around a defensive tackle. But now I'm literally seeing him just engage and look. He's not trying to get to the quarterback. That is a problem for me. And that is a problem with scheme. And I don't care what anybody has to say. I've listened to other podcasters, and they were like, "Oh no, that can't be the case because nobody would tell." That has to be the case. If you're going to attack the scheme, to me, the scheme is exactly that: not allowing guys to go after the quarterback because you don't want to leave those holes in the middle. You're playing zone. You don't have athletic linebackers in that sense, right? That you got good tacklers, good hole fillers for run game, but they're not able to run the way that some of these other guys can. So you don't want to leave these big gaps that give quarterbacks a chance to get up the field. But you're going to have to change that. Eberflus, you're going to have to change that. You're going to have to let these guys go. I refuse to believe that Sam Williams doesn't have bend anymore. I refuse to believe that Donovan Ezeraku, who was able to get 60-something sacks last year in college, even though it was college, like he knows how to bend. He knows how to go around people. And right now, I'm not even seeing him try. I'm literally seeing him engage, go right into the person, not try to go around, not bend, not try to beat them to the outside, any of that. I'm not seeing any of the defensive ends doing that. And the only reason James Houston is doing it is because he's engaging and then going around. And I think that is a huge problem with scheme. And if there is going to be a scheme issue, and I'm actually going to put some film together to show you guys what I'm talking about if it continues this week. I know that there's no way Jadeveon Clowney is coming here and supposed to be a pass rusher. Hopefully he's coming in on third down, and they're going to tell him just engage and look for the quarterback. Like there's no way that works. But I feel like that's what they're being taught because that's what every single one of the defensive ends are doing. So again, I put some film together for that. But if we want to be able to beat the Green Bay Packers, we have to be able to get pass rush, and we're going to have to continue to be able to stop the run. And this is kind of cliche, right? You got to get to the quarterback. You got to stop the run. You got to defend in the back. I can say that for almost every game, but it is very important for this game. I mean, it's very important for this game. We have an opportunity, Green Bay, we have an opportunity to get push right up the middle. If we can get that push up the middle the way the Cleveland Browns did last week, if we can get some push from the edge from Jadeveon Clowney, we have an opportunity to create the same way that the Cleveland Browns created. And I'm hoping that that's it. That's something that we can create. Unfortunately, our offense, I'm not sure if, I'm normally always confident that they're going to be able to get to 40 points, right? And I'm not sure that that's the situation this game. And it's not just because of CeeDee Lamb being out. I think the bigger issue that I'm having is not knowing what I'm going to get from Booker's backup, which is TJ Bass. And once I kind of see what we're going to get from that, I'll know where our running game is. I do feel like if Booker was still in the game, I mean, right now you're talking about 7 yards a carry last week from our running back. 7 yards a carry is pretty good. And I think if you're getting 7 yards a carry and you're able to get catches to your tight end, and then you're able to get catches over to your wide receiver one, which in this case is not CeeDee Lamb, but it's George Pickens, and then still being able to have a slot guy like a Cavante Turpin, you still have an opportunity to put points on the board. But and we'll talk tomorrow a little bit about what the what the offense needs to do to put points on the board. But my guess is that the offense is probably only going to be able to put just under 30, like a 24-ish, 27-ish game at tops, right? And that means that we can't afford to give up 30 points. So the defense needs to be able to do what they can to keep the Green Bay Packers under 20. And that definitely requires us to be able to get some pass rush, get him off his mark, and stop them from doing some of the things that they have been able to do prior to this Cleveland game. So that's kind of what I have for you guys today, man. I hope that you again hit that subscribe button. Let me know what it is that you need me to research, to look up. You can find me on Instagram, I Heard D Will, or you can look up Defending the Boys. You can also find us on Twitter or X, which is Defending the Boys. It's DA on X. And you can find us on TikTok. It's Defending the Boys, THE again, on TikTok. You can also find me again, like I said, I Heard D Will on X or Instagram. And just kind of let me know what it is that you want to talk about, things that you agree with, things that you don't agree with. Put them in the comments. I read and respond to most of my comments. Now, if you say something like crazy, not about the Cowboys, I'll respond to that. If you say something crazy, personal or something, I may not reply to that. But everything else, I try to reply to. And if you have an opinion, I'm going to respect your opinion. I'm going to tell you what mine is. Just respect that as well. So look forward to chatting with you guys and talking with you guys, and also look forward to seeing how the Cowboys are going to fare with the Green Bay Packers. Tomorrow, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the offense and what they need to do to be able to get to that 27 points that I talked about, and hopefully come away with a W. All right. See you guys later. I holla. Defending the Boys. We're out.